Hey guys, how's it going? So we're back again with RangI, and yeah, today what we're going to do is we're going to work on our side crow. Okay, so let's get right into it. So basically, with your side crow, what we need to understand again is it's a shifting of the weight. It's a transferring of the weight. The more you have the center of your mass over your hands, the easier it is for you to balance, right? Also, what we need to remember with the side crow is what you're trying to do is you're just creating a shelf with your elbows to rest your legs on top of your elbows. It's that simple. So I'll demo first, and then we'll go over it with Rangi. Right? So when we're doing our side crow, again, just like the crow, we're going to start off with our toes together and a slight gap in between our heels. Now, why do we have a slight gap between our heels? Is the more gap we have in between our heels, the closer our knees come together. But if you can't keep your knees all the way together, don't worry about it too much. Right? So you have the toes together and you're going to squat down. Now in the crow, we had our legs go out to the side. In our side crow, we have them together. So once we're here, we're going to place our hands on the mat facing forward. Right? So once you place your hands down, what you want to do is you want to have as less as possible space between your shoulder and your knee. So what you want to do is you want to stretch out, you want to place one hand behind you and you want to stretch out as much as you can the side of your body. Once you feel like you have stretched enough, you want to connect your shoulder as high as you can onto your knee. Now, even if it's here, that's fine, but the less space we have between our shoulder and our knee, the easier and more stable side crow becomes. So now you see how my knee is going out? That's one thing that we all do. We forget to keep our knees together. If you forget to keep your knees together, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? So you want to keep your knees together. You want to place your hands on the mat. Remember to keep the knee as high as you can on your shoulder. So once we're here, you want to grip the mat as hard as we can, gripping our fingers in. If you missed the previous video, we go over how to grip the mat in the previous video of the crow. I'm sure it'll pop up somewhere on the screen here. Okay, so we want to grip the mat as much as we can. Hands stay shoulder distance apart. We want to come up high onto our tiptoes, and then basically we are not going to let our knees slip off of our shoulders. What we're actually going to do is we're going to come up high onto our toes and then create a shelf for our legs. So as you can see, when I come up here, I'm just bringing my head forward and I'm bringing my elbows backwards, creating that shelf. Tiptoes, head forward, elbows back. Keep looking forward and keep shifting your torso forward until your legs lift up. Once they lift up, you want to bring them into your glutes. If that's comfortable for you, you're going to extend them out completely. You're going to bring them in and bring them back onto the mat. Okay, so now we're going to try with Rangi. Okay, so you want to face the side of the mat, keep your toes together, knees together, have the slight space between your heels. Perfect. Now I'm going to squat down. Okay, you're going to place one hand behind you and stretch out your sides. So as you can see, when she's stretching out, she wants to have her pinky finger rotated inwards. And then she's going to stretch it out as much as she can. She's going to keep her ribs in and she's going to take deep breaths. So she feels the stretch in her lats. Right? So once she has enough of a stretch, she's going to connect the top of her shoulder onto her knee. Now, as you can see, she has her knee connected to the highest point of her shoulder. So the less space you have, the easier this is. Now, as you can see, she has been listening. So she has her knees together. Okay. Now she has her hands facing the top of the mat, shoulder distance apart. She's going to bring her elbows in and she's going to come up high onto her tiptoes. That way. She's going to come up high onto her tiptoes. She's going to grip the mat. She's going to face her torso. Now, as you can see, her torso is facing to a 45-degree angle. So she's going to face it towards the top of the mat. If not, you're going to shift and you're going to turn and you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I fall.
Don't worry about it. Okay? So come up high onto your tiptoes. She's going to bring her torso forward and shift her elbows back, creating that shelf. Then she's going to shift forward until her feet come off the mat. Yeah. So now as you can see, she went backwards because
I'm scared.
because she didn't come forward enough. Okay, so now this is going to be a normal thing, and you don't have to worry about getting it on your first time.
And I feel like I'm holding my breath also.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, yeah, the more you hold your breath, the harder it becomes, right? Okay, so we're going to try it again. So we'll start from the top, toes together, slight distance between your feet, squat down. Now she has already stretched out her side, so she doesn't need to do it again. She's going to connect her knee onto her shoulder as high as she can. She's going to come up onto her tiptoes, create that shelf with her elbows, and she's going to think about falling forward. Trust your fingers. 3, 2, 1.
Love it!
Amazing. All right. So as you can see, the more you trust your fingers, the more you have, right?
Yeah.
Trust your fingers. Don't hold your breath. Create that shelf. Have as less possible space between your knees and your torso. And just trust the process. You're going to have a few falls, but don't worry about it. That's just a rite of passage. So, thank you for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.